All right, ladies and gents, welcome back to another SLA video. So we got two things we want to cover on here. We're on a live stream right now, so feel free to join if you are currently watching me. Of course, say hi to YouTube. So we did a 1 year anniversary part 1 of what's coming out. There's a part 2 that I didn't get a chance to go through because I had to get my kids ready for breakfast and take them to school. So there's the 1 year anniversary from Sea and Iron, which is a surprise note, a second preview. Now the first preview kind of gave us a general sense of what's happening on the anniversary. This is a little more of a detailed overview of the things that are coming out. Also the things that are including in Chaw's kit, especially the animations, plus some of the rewards. Also keep in mind the actual summary of our artifacts has been put together by Isu. I'm going to go through that right there. She's done an amazing job, so shout out to her. She's currently on the actual live stream. So all about the new artifacts. So she wrote down an amazing breakdown of every single artifact, comparing it to other artifacts that are similar with her test results, which was backed up by a couple other people, including Alex Rudick. I think it was also by Mouse and a few others. And I know I asked her here in the bottom who it was there. Let me just see quickly. Let me see who else she said. People who help are mostly Rudick, Mouse, and Gohak. There you guys go. So those are the people that help. So we're going to go through this as well. Kind of give you a full summary for those who don't want to watch a full 2-hour video of what all of these are doing, what they're worth, and if they're better than the existing things out there, plus some of the test results that were there as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. For those who are live, I apologize. I'm going to not be able to talk too much about it until we get to the actual live stream. So let's start off with this, the 1 year anniversary surprise notice second preview. So this here is actually going to be a preview of a couple different things, including Chaw's brand new kit, which is not necessarily her numbers, but just more of the animations and a little bit more of the story. Plus, so everyone is aware, you can now pre-register correctly. I went ahead and I pre-registered, and now you can actually do it. You guys can see that your pre-registration is completed. I did it the first time with the exact same email I used before, and this time it works. So for those who pre-registered already, please go and pre-register now and get yourself the rewards. Make sure you do this today, guys. This is now what we did in the past. Apparently didn't work. It was bugged. Now it's working. You guys can see Chaw's here with her really nice sternum and legs, and then of course we got the prizes here as well, so make sure you guys do this. All right, this is now active and ready to go. Now before I go any further, of course, please remember the content creator program is still going on. 6 active codes. Click the support button, get free codes. Pretty straightforward. All right, now let's go over to the actual summary. So 1 year anniversary update. Word has it that the secret file obtained by a shadow A contains a special video. What could it be? And this is what the video is. Essentially all of her skills. So this is Chaw's skills right here. This is skill 1, which in my opinion looks like Sung Jin Woo doing moon shadow daggers. Doesn't it look like moon shadow daggers with just crazier effects? So that's skill number 1. I think this looks pretty damn badass, not gonna lie. And I've always been a fan of the animation for that as well. This is skill number 2, which looks like, I don't know what that looks like. That looks like an existing skill. I just can't put my thumb on it. Maybe somebody can let me know what this is. But this looks pretty damn badass, right? Right there. Yeah, you guys should start saving for sure for the blessing stones. All right, there's that one. And then of course, skill number 3, right there. Now, I don't know what this is. Yeah, it's very similar to Essel's swords. You're absolutely right. Yeah, you have to. It's kind of the same build-up where you have to build up her swords, and then her ultimate, I believe, actually uses those swords, or maybe one of these skills uses those swords. I think they're called Skyward Sword or something. But her animations look pretty damn crisp. They look pretty damn crisp. So yeah, it looks like original Chaw a little bit. Yeah, it looks like a little bit like original Chaw. This Chaw looks 10 times better in my opinion. Like from the outfit, from the look, from the swords, from the skills, this is the version I enjoy. You guys can see water for sure. Like look, when she drops that right there, you can see the water burst. So it definitely is a water unit. Clearly, I think we've made that pretty clear, right? Okay, so various rewards are also coming. The 1 year anniversary appreciation check-in. We're all going to be getting a blessing stone selection chest, a transcended version, which means all of us are going to be getting a mythical blessing stone of our choice, which I think is pretty damn crazy. What's going on, guys? Number 2. 1 year anniversary celebration SSR Hunter selection ticket. So this is a ticket that's probably going to get us up to, I don't know where it's going to stop. I would imagine maybe right before Goto, or we'll include Goto, but that's going to be included as well. The 1 year anniversary celebration SSR Hunter selection ticket, free weapon for that, of course. And then, of course, SSR Sung Jin Woo weapon selection ticket, which I hope includes the fan. So that's definitely going to be there. The mission challenge, which is, I believe, your daily challenges or whatever the case is going to give us 100 custom draw tickets, which is great, of course. And then, of course, the 1 year anniversary daily missions will include the 11th hour blade. That's what they call it. They should have just called it the 11th hour go to sleep Payneblade, because it looks like what I wear when I go to sleep. That's right, I wear this outfit when I go to sleep, folks. So this is what's going to be happening there. Also, I want to say this is in the making, but there will be a collab with Zaf, myself, and 2 other special guests, actually 3 other special guests. And then I'll be also bringing in a special guest for that day as well, too. So we got a lot going on, which is amazing, okay? So 1 year anniversary date check-in as well. If you want to see what's going on in terms of the 7-day check-in, you can click on either of their official Instagram or that stuff, and I think they're actually providing us a pretty decent summary of this stuff going on. So this is a pre-registration, plus a couple other things as well happening here. You guys can see right there, that's what's happening. And yeah, so we should be getting quite a bit going on for the anniversary. So a lot of exciting things are going to be occurring. And then this is the schedule for SLA's 1 year anniversary. So Chahayan's going to be coming out. For some odd reason, they're reintroducing Thomas banner and a Goto banner as well, which is confusing the hell out of me. I kind of understand Goto because of the fact that WOBL will be wind as well as water, most likely, so that's probably a reason why. And then there's a Raid Up Hunter Growth Tournament, which is, of course, the more you summon, the more you get rewards. There's the Appreciation Check-In as well, too, which will be going on. That'll be going on all the way until June the 12th, which is quite a bit. There's going to be a Cake Thief Sweep Operation minigame, an Assemble Army of Shadows, which reminds me of the Avengers, and then a Hunter Challenge event, of course, that's happening. Rock, Paper, Scissors is going on. 1 year anniversary is happening. Heart Pounding Tank, 1 year anniversary daily missions for the costume. Night of the Hunter Collection, plus many, many more things happening here along the way. So quite a bit going on, guys. So make sure if you have not started playing this game, this is the time to do it. Get yourself in and get yourself going, okay? So just so everyone is aware. So there you guys go. That is essentially all of the 1 year anniversary stuff. Again, please go and pre-register now if you have not done so. I'm going to put this in my chat. Go pre-register now so everybody gets it. There you guys go. And then that pretty much takes care of the 1 year anniversary. Now let's go to part 2 of the video. This is going to be probably the most important part of this video, which again, shout out to Isu for doing this, all about new artifacts. If you have not joined my Discord, it's in every single video. You need to verify your phone number to Discord that you're a real person and then get yourself the SLA role. Then this will be available to you. So Chaotic Desire Artifact Guide Breaker Set. So we're going to go through each one of these in some form of a summary so people get an idea. I can't write on the website for my email. Oh, you can't? Oh, that's weird. That's really weird. That sucks, Isu. Sorry to hear that. Okay, let's go over this, guys. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go over each one of these, the bonuses, etc., and then we're going to talk about the test results. Actually, you know what? Let's just talk about the test results. So the breaker set is pretty straightforward. When a breaker does damage, it activates Desire, which increases your elemental damage by 2 set, 4 set, and then 8 set. You also get more break damage skills by your skills by 50% on the AP set as well, to 30% by the 4P set. How effective is the 40% elemental damage increase really? I think this is what people want to know, okay? So at a glance, a 40% elemental damage increase sounds huge, but it's important to consider how additive multipliers interact. Remember, most of these are all additive. As a matter of fact, I think they're all additive, so very important to do that. I'm not checking right now, Flawless. If the elemental damage bonus is additive with existing buffs, the actual benefit scales down depending on how much elemental damage you already have. Now, you guys know a lot of teams, like for example, the water team gives a lot of elemental damage already. Same with fire. So a lot of these bonuses will not really interact quite as well as most people think. So here's the formula, right? And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go just down to the bottom just to explain kind of an example here, okay? So if a character already has X amount of elemental damage bonus, adding a flat 40% increase to a total effective increase, this is the formula. For example, let's use Kanae. She has 50% fire damage already, right? 40 divided by, of course, 100 plus 50 equals 26.6% real damage increase. If no other element bonuses exist, then she would get the 40%. That's the maximum possible. So this is just giving you an example of how this works, right? So in total, you're not actually getting the full 40%. What you're getting with all the extra bonuses that are applied to the characters by other characters or themselves, for example, Kanae here is going to give you 24.2%. And again, if anybody has any questions about this stuff, go to the Discord, talk to Isu, and I'm sure she and Mouse and all these other folks can give you guys a general sense of what's happening, okay? So let's talk about Burning Greed versus Chaotic Desire. So real test results. In personal testing, Isu ran Kanae supported by Essel, equipped with Burning Greed instead of Chaotic Desire, and saw a 13% overall increase in Kanae's damage. All right? So Burning Greed did more. Burning Greed did more. All right, so there you guys go. So conclusion, the more elemental bonuses you already have, the less efficient the 40% becomes. Most high-level Kanae setups, Obsidian Core, Fire Boost, Party Auras already pack 40 to 70% damage, making the real value of this around 23 to 28%. There you guys go. All right, so I think this is what we all said as well too in our video, that you won't see the same result on teams that have a lot of elemental damage bonuses such as water and fire. You may see this better in other teams, but right now not as good as Greed for the most part. All right, moving over. Chaotic Infamy Artifact Guide. This is the DPS set. So Chaotic Infamy is a brand new set, obviously, that gives you guys skill damage bonus, plus you take increased damage taken. So you guys can see the 1-piece set is 1.5 stacking to 20 times, max 30%. 4-piece set is 50% max, and then 8-piece set gives you a bonus of 40% team damage, which means you'll do better ideally in POD and Guild Boss, right? So again, I'm going to put this through and talk to you guys about this. So how effective is the 100% damage boost really, right? Because you can see here, increases damage, skill, and ultimate damage by 100% permanently. And also recover MP when you do basic skills. So the AP set is pretty impressive. So as with Chaotic Desire, it's important to remember this is all additive, right? So if your character already has X times skill damage bonus, adding another 100% is not really going to make that much of a difference. So if a DPS already has 100% skill damage, you're only actually getting really 50% damage increase, not the 100. If there's no skill damages, then it's 100%. So for example, Wind Team. Hansimi provides 30% basic skill damage, 10 plus 5% wind stacks twice. Gota provides 20% skill damage. Mireille does have some special interactions, but she leaves them out, okay? Because we know her passive increases damage of her skills. So for example, the 100 divided by 150 equals 66.6% damage increase rather than the 100 that you actually see. So it is, again, reduced. 40% team fight buff. The 40% team fight buff is diminished by your stats. So in reality, it's more like 30%-ish you gain from it. My takeaway is that will be the meta for set for Kanae. So mostly we use for Kanae. And I think this is actually well put together because most people who did their testing found the exact same thing. Kanae benefited the most from this. Everyone else really didn't benefit too much, right? So who should I use Chaotic Infamy with? The way I see it, it's just Kanae. It does have a big smaller damage percentage compared to kill 2 curse and 4 obsidian. However, the 8-piece means you don't have to sacrifice the stats to MP consumption, which is really good, obviously, right? Making this build ideal for her. So chaotic versus other DPS sets. The problem, much like Desire, this set's impressive looking numbers can be misleading in practice because of additive scaling diminishing returns. If your DPS already enjoys skill damage buffs from cores, team auras, or passives, the real world benefit does shrink quite a bit. All right, so there you guys go. You guys can see that. So conclusion, as with previous set, the more skill damage bonuses you already have, the effect goes down. The 100% is actually not 100%. It'll be more about 35 to 45%. All right, and then lastly, the Chaotic Wish Artifact Guide set. This one gives you an attack bonus, a defense bonus, plus I believe gives you an HP increase. Not HP increase, but gives you HP recovery. So this set here, how effective is the stats? So same thing. Suffers from diminishing return, it's additive, right? If a character already has X amount of attack, so for example, Kanae, who has a crap load of attack and doesn't scale well, this is not going to work really well for her. So like the other chaotic sets, the more existing buffs you have, the smaller the real effect is. In the high-end team composition, where attack bonuses from cores, passives, buff skills, and artifacts are plentiful, this 15% bonus tends to contribute an actual 6 to 9% improvement only. The main benefit of the 8-piece is not really there. It's the trigger on core, but I would personally like to see a 4-piece buff instead. All right, and then Iron Will set here. I think this has probably been the most impactful one, where defense is a lot harder to scale than things like attack. So this one actually does give you quite a bit. And you guys can see here, the math here is 33% extra defense bonus total, which is going to be amazing for Cha and units like Thomas. So, and then a flat 50% damage multiplier on your ultimate skill every 20 seconds is incredibly valuable, especially on characters like Thomas, who have a really low cooldown, right? Even if additive, it's still highly efficient because the ultimate skill bonuses are typically rarer compared to attack and skill damage. So very, very important. Very, very important. Okay, so this is going to be a big one. Okay, and then destructive set, you guys can see right here. Key differences between this versus other sets. Destructive Instinct only affects skills with break tag on it. So things like things like ultimates and stuff like that will not be applied for the most part. Obsidian requires you to stay above 40% MP, but that's generally manageable. So Obsidian is actually the better choice between all of them. And this is going to make more sense on a pure DPS breaker I would say someone like Sarin, for example, who would really, really help a lot, right? So there you guys go. And then Shining Star, we have a couple different things for Shining Star here. Where it struggles, for example, is when units have really high attack, you really don't want to use this. For example, Kanae is another great example of this one. Shining Star is a powerful accessory for burst-oriented low attack characters, but loses value on high attack characters like Kanae. All right, just so everyone's aware. And that's pretty much it. So if you guys want to read the full detail, which I actually went through and it's very detailed and well put together, thank you again, Isu, Mouse, GoHack, and Alex for doing this. Go join the Discord, guys, and you can check this out at any time. All right, there you guys go. That is the full video on that one. So again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.